What's going on, everyone? This is Nick from Comic Culture. Today's video, I'm going to go over how to use the great website League of Comic Geeks to either just track what's coming out or set up a poll with your local LCS if they offer that service. So let's go over to the computer and check out League of Comic Geeks. Okay, so once you go over to leagueofcomicgeeks.com, the first thing you need to do is create an account. So up here in the top right, you have pick a username, password, email, and the join now button. If you already have an account, you can go ahead and log in over here. At the bottom over here, it kind of goes over what this website is all about. If you want to go ahead and read through all these things, you can go ahead and do so. I'm going to cover the highlights of what this website can do for you throughout this video. So I'm going to go ahead and log in and we will pick right back up in just a moment. Okay, I have just logged into my account. So this is going to take you to the dashboard page. I want you to ignore all this for right now because it's probably blank if you created a brand new account, or it might have a bunch of information in here if you have an existing account and you're already using this. So I'm going to go ahead and go over a couple different things, one of which is how to browse for books in the future and set up your basic poll list. So in order to do that, we're going to focus on the left side over here. There's search, there's my poll list, my comics, browse, new comics, stores, and community. So if you want to know what is coming out soon, you're going to go to the new comics section. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. It's going to automatically take you to the week that it currently is. So it is June 26th right now. And it took me to the week of the 23rd, which is New Comic Book Day, which is a Wednesday. So I'm actually going to go over to the next week, which is the 30th. And when I do that, it shows all the books that this website has listed coming out next week. So what you can do here is each book that you see has a series of options down below. So you have add to poll list, and you have a couple other options that are not unlocked until the book is released. So I'll show you what that looks like later. So the first thing you're going to do is review all the books that are coming out in that week. And the ones you want, you're going to put a little green check mark right there. So boom, it just turned green. It said add to poll list. So that will now populate on the My Poll List option under the week of the 30th. If you made a mistake, you can click it again and it just goes away. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to review what is coming out in the new comics section week by week. And you're going to drop pluses right here on the books that you want to pick up. So go ahead and do that for all the weeks. It actually does go quite far into the future. So again, it's June 26th. We have books available all the way through July, through August, and even through September. If I click on the 29th, there are a ton of books out here on the 29th as well. So you can go all the way into the future like this and click the plus button. So once you've done that and you've gotten as far as you can handle for the moment, I'm going to take you over to what the My Poll List section looks like. Okay, so once you've gotten as far as you want to get with your new comics section over here, we're going to go to My Poll List and see what books we've kind of singled out from the whole list, right? So this is the week of the 23rd. Again, it's the 26th. I'm going to pause right here for a moment and explain these other icons since they're now available. These icons only become available once the book is released. So these were kind of grayed out in the previous section, in the new comics section, because the books weren't out yet. So what are these different icons? We have add to collection, we have mark it read, and we have add to wish list. So they're pretty much self-explanatory. If you went to the shop and you actually got your book, you can click on the add collection and it will add it into your collection, and you can see it later in your My Comic area. You can even kind of keep track of the books that you've read and haven't read yet. I've actually read all these, so I'm going to go ahead and just mark all of them. I'm not as good at keeping up with the in collection and mark as read, but it is a good way to kind of keep track. And let's say you didn't add it to your poll list. It's not in your collection. You haven't read it, obviously, but you want it. It's on your wish list. You can actually click on the W and it kind of highlights it there and see it got rid of the in collection. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it again, and it kind of took it away from the wish list section. So it's kind of a cool way to mark which ones you're looking for still and which ones you have in your collection. So I'm going to go into the future a little bit. So now it's showing me the books that I have picked as my polls for the week of the 30th. Again, it's not the 30th yet. It's the 26th when I'm recording this. So these options are not available to choose from, but it is showing me what is on my pull list. A really cool feature of this page here and this site in general is that you can edit the discount tax. You can actually get a printed version of this. It tells you how many comics there are and it tells you the total. So I haven't configured all this up yet, but you can actually add your sales tax, your local sales tax, and you can add whatever discount if your shop is giving you one. And it will tell you the accurate amount of money that you're going to be spending that week, which is extremely helpful when you're trying to budget out comic books. So on the 29th, I'm going to get an email from League of Comic Geeks with all these polls listed here. So if the shop is not part of League of Comic Geeks, or you don't have some way of telling them what books you want, you can just bring that email in, maybe on your phone, and you can pull the books off the shelf based on the things that you've selected here. If your shop takes requests ahead of time and they order books for you, like most shops I assume do, you can go ahead into the future and choose the books you want to pull. By example, let's go to, let's say, the week of the 11th in August. And let's say that these are all the books I want. I can click on this print button down here, and it actually gives you a print version with the SKU code, so the shops can order exactly the book that you want. Okay, and this even tells you if you chose a B cover or a C cover, something like that. So here's like the Momoko variant, for instance, and that's the unique SKU for that book right there. So you can print this off, month to month, week to week, and hand it to your shop, and they know exactly what they should be giving you. And if you set up your discount and your sales tax right, you'll know exactly how much you're going to spend, which is great. So we're going to go back over to our polls over here. So again, you can toggle it by weeks over here. And you can even toggle it by years if you want to. So set up your account, go through the new comics section, go ahead and mark in green these green check boxes, all the books that you want to get. And then you can come over to your pull list and then just see those books that you've added. Once you go to the store on that week and pick your books up, you can add them to your collection. You can mark them whenever you read them. And that way you can kind of keep track of what you've read and what you haven't read and what's in your collection and what's not. So if you're really diligent and you keep track of your in collection area, you can click on My Comics over here, and it will actually show you all the books that you have marked in your collection. And it's all alphabetized, and you can, click on these and see everything about them in here. You can even manage your subscriptions in here and, go over some other details in here. So that's a really cool feature. I just don't keep up with it. I just use it as my pull list and seeing what's upcoming. So let's go into the new comics section again. I want to explain something about variants. So I know something is killing the children. Actually, let me go into the week that's coming up. And we'll go to, let's say, Department of Truth. So Department of Truth is on my poll, but it's at a poll at another shop. But let's just say that I wanted to see what other kind of covers there are, because maybe there's more than one cover. So this is not on my poll right now. Let me go ahead and click into it. It's going to give me all the information about the book, the synopsis, the creative team. You can click on these folks and you can learn more about them. But there's also other covers. So go ahead and hover and it tells you which cover that is. So it gives you, so there's our B cover. And here's the trade dress B. And so you can go down and you can kind of hover and see which ones they are. So don't assume that your shop can get all these. Some of these are just exclusives. Some of these are incentive covers. So you got to be careful with the title. It has tons and tons of covers. But, work with your shop on that one and maybe they can help you out. So let me just see if I can find just the regular B. So this appears to be just the regular B cover. So I can click on that one. There's my regular B, and then I can click pull. So it's going to pull the B cover only. If I was on the previous page and it showed the A cover and I hit pull, it's going to just pull the A cover. So if you want to choose a specific variant or a B cover or a C cover, whatever it is, you go into the individual books, you hover over the ones that you want, making sure that it's not some crazy exclusive or incentive one. Once that one is selected, then you hit your pull and it will add that one to the list of books that you want to get. Okay, so that's a good tip for how to pull specific variants instead of just the A covers. Okay, so I went over how to browse books. I went over how to manage your pull list and how to select different variants if you want to. The last thing I'm going to go over is the store sync feature. So what I mean by that is my local comic shop, for instance, has an account on here and manages its customers' polls using this website as well. So over here, there is a stores icon. You can actually browse by store. It will pull up your map about where you are located. You can type in a zip code over here, an address, and it will tell you all the different stores that are in your area that participate. You can go ahead and select your store down here and sync the poll list. So keep in mind that once you do this, everything that's in your poll list will be notified, the store will be notified that you want those books, and they will order those books. So you're kind of obligated to buy them. So don't just go clicking and adding a bunch of stuff to your poll that you don't have intention on buying. The other thing to consider is you may have missed final order cutoff, FOC, already. So I wouldn't set up an account, put a bunch of books on for next week and expect to get them. I would work with your LCS and say, you know, how far out before my poll list is really up to date. They'll see the books that you wanted to get next week, but they might not be able to guarantee that they'll get them in unless they just order everything, and then they can kind of manage your poll list based on just extras that they have laying around. So realistically, I would probably expect the books for the previous month to start being about 100% accurate if they are really on top of things and they can get all the books in that they order. But I wouldn't expect books for the next couple weeks to be 100% available from your poll. There are a couple other things this site offers that are really interesting, like a community tab. I don't participate too much in this area, but it's something that I want to explore as I go. So if you click into here, you can go into community posts and discussions, reviews, things like that. For instance, if I were to click into Red Room here, I can start a discussion down here. I can enter in some kind of comment about this issue, number 2, and others that view this issue will see my comment and can respond, things like that. So it's really interesting if you're a comic book blogger, something like that. You can look and you can also contribute to this community discussion section. And you can see how popular a book is by seeing how many people have it on their poll. So 399 have this one on their poll list right now. You can tell by these icons down here. And so, you know, there's a fair bit of interest for this book. And so your comments over here might get some responses if you wanted to engage and have a discussion about this particular book. Great. So hopefully this video was helpful for you. Hopefully you know now you can go to leagueofcomicgeeks.com. You can at least go ahead and sign up for their service. It is absolutely free. You can browse the comics in the new comics section. You can go ahead and add whatever books you want to your poll list. You can choose variant covers instead of A covers as well from here. Once you're done, you should be able to go to your My Poll list, see what you're expected to get the week that you have selected here. If you enter in the right numbers and your discount and your state tax, you should see how much you're about to spend that week, so you can help track that. And if your store is participating in this website, you can find them in the store section and set up a digital poll list instead of a sticky note or a message poll list type situation, which I've found to be much more efficient and accurate. If anybody has any questions, please let me know down in the comments section. While you're down there, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and ding, ding, ding that notification bell for future videos. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in the comments.